All right, think about the things that you tell yourself, the negative self-talk that goes on inside your head. Now imagine saying that out loud to your best friend.
Yikes.
So imagine you're standing in front of your best friend and you say, "You're ugly.
You're stupid.
You're useless.
You're crazy.
You're fat."
Oh,
You wouldn't, right? You don't say that to other people.
No.
So why do we talk to ourselves like that? Why do we do that?
Yeah, I think we're so critical of ourselves, right? We're
Yeah.
so we put ourselves down.
We do completely. It's like that's the default. Well, obviously not for everybody. We're not talking about everybody, but
No.
I think a lot of people, especially if you're watching this video, you're probably one of those people who does have a negative default setting in their brain.
Right?
I do.
Yeah, I definitely do. Like, I don't even realize it half the time. Like, it's only been recently where I've been really recognizing how much I don't realize the way I talk to myself.
And that's why we wanted to make this video, right?
Yeah.
We wanted to talk about how we don't realize how much we talk down to ourselves, how negative we are towards ourselves.
Yeah,
right?
like just today, like I dropped a piece of bread on the floor and I was like, oh, idiot. And I'm like, oh, I'm not an idiot. I just dropped a piece of bread, right? If we talk to ourselves like this over and over and over again, eventually we start to believe and it starts to become our reality.
That's it, right? Like the title says, how you talk to yourself. If you're negative, then that's going to radiate and into the rest of your life, right?
Yeah.
It's going to come out in lots of different aspects, and ultimately you're not going to feel good.
Yeah, because it's like you're constantly saying these things to yourself and that belief starts to come true, right? So it's like, oh, it's okay to call myself an idiot. Oh, it's okay to call myself crazy.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not, right?
No, it's really not.
We need to be kinder to ourselves.
Yes. We want to talk about internal and external negative self-talk. External is kind of vocalizing, like you dropping the bread and saying out loud, "Oh, what an idiot," or "I'm an idiot."
Yeah, it's almost like I'm criticizing myself. I'm being hard on myself, right? And it's easy to catch. I find it's much easier to catch an external one because it's,
when you say it out loud, you're
it's
like,
right
oh.
there. It's like, oh, I shouldn't talk to myself like that, right? And that's what I've been trying to do recently.
We're good too. We catch each other, don't
Yes.
we? So you'll say, like earlier, you'll do that, and I'll be like, "Don't say that. You're not an idiot." And vice versa. I say it
so
too.
Sweet.
No, but obviously we have that ability.
Yeah.
We're together and we can catch each other.
Yeah, so
right?
we kind of try to help retrain the way we're talking
Yeah.
to ourselves by helping each other catch each other and be like, no, you're not ugly, or no, you're not, stupid, or whatever we're calling ourselves by these silly names. We're trying to correct them and catch them.
Yeah.
Right?
The external way, though, that we had a bit of a little epiphany realization about is how you negative talk yourself to other people.
Yeah, so it's almost like you criticize yourself prior to them being able to criticize you. So like, oh, I do this because I'm crazy, right? Oh, I'm an idiot for doing that, right? And I've already called myself the name. Therefore, you can't call me that, right? Like I've already labeled myself. So don't you know I'm stupid, right? So don't call me stupid. But
it's not giving the other person the chance to call you an idiot or call you stupid before you've called yourself stupid. So, and it's kind of saying, look, I can call myself stupid, but you can't. So I'm going to do it first.
Yeah.
But then there's also, this was another epiphany that we had. If you're calling yourself stupid, it also weirdly gives the other person permission to call you stupid. Because if you think you're stupid, then it's like, oh yeah, okay.
It's
I'm
free game then, right?
Yeah,
Like you've kind of opened up the floodgates.
You might as well say, hey, I'm insecure. Here are all my insecurities. Because that's what you're, and it's also, there's so much stuff wrapped up into this, but that external negative self-talk as well is displaying that you care what people think of you, right? It's a defense. It's a defense,
exactly.
But we shouldn't be doing that. But then I think going on to internal.
I think for me, the most time I'm really internally critical is when I'm looking in the mirror. Like I'll be brushing my teeth and I'll notice like, oh, look, pimple. Yeah. Oh, look, my teeth are crooked. Oh, that tooth looks yellow. Or like, and I will like pick apart myself really negatively, right? Or like look in the mirror like, oh, I got a bit of a belly or whatever it is, right? it's time to change that way I perceive myself. It's time to change the way I'm talking to myself because it's not healthy.
I think that's when a lot of people will negative talk to themselves the most, is when you're looking in the mirror, right? Because you're looking at all of your flaws or whatever, but it's like you're always going in with that negative mindset. A lot of people aren't kind of looking in the mirror to be like, all right, let's see how awesome I look today. Right? You're automatically like, right, what do I need to fix? What's out of place? Right?
You're looking for those flaws, right? And we watched a video the other day, and it was Joe Dispenza, and he said, how often do you actually just sit with yourself and love yourself, right? Like, how often do you just go and look at, and I did it today, funny enough, is I did it today. I looked in the mirror, and I'm like, Alex, you're a great guy. You know what I mean? And it was like, awkward, right? But I tried it, right? And you know what? It was awkward because it shows me how negative I've been towards myself.
That's it. So simple. Just look in the mirror and tell yourself that you're beautiful or awesome or whatever. And it is weird. And I think it was Mel Robbins that said, high five yourself in the mirror every morning. And I've started to do it. And it's really funny because you feel weird to start with, but then you do it and then it makes you smile. And then you see yourself smile in the mirror and you're like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, give us a high five.
High five. You are beautiful.
Yeah, because I think, too, like a big influence is obviously social media and us comparing ourselves to what the perfect man looks like. Like, I'm sure, like, all these things, like, I'm supposed to be tall, blah, 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 all these insecurities that society has really imposed on people, right? But, like, it's about our internal dialogue. It's about how we're talking to ourselves. I think that's what needs to be changed. It's how to be kinder to ourselves, right? Because these internal thoughts, they're going to become a reality where I'm constantly thinking I'm too short or I'm not good enough or I'm ugly or I'm stupid, right? And the more I say that, it's like we said early, it becomes a reality.
That's it. Because, like you said, if you're constantly looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I am a short guy and you can't do this. And because you're short, then you're not going to get a girl because no one wants a short guy. And then it's going to affect how you behave, how you see the world. It's going to affect what you go after, like the hobbies that you have. And this is what we want to highlight, right? We really don't understand or realize and pay attention to how that negativity about ourselves manifests into the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's
affects shocking.
So many layers, right? If you constantly saying you're stupid, like maybe you think you're not smart enough to learn something that you are really interested in, right? Like, I'd love to learn about that, but I'm stupid.
It's because you don't believe and you're telling yourself that you can't, right?
Yeah,
that's negative self-talk. It doesn't have to be like an external, like physical thing. Yeah, it can be about how smart you are or even how adventurous you are. So many people say, oh, I wish I'd have traveled like you. Why haven't you? Do you just not believe that you can do that? Like, there are so many different ways of putting yourself down too, right?
Because I think, especially with the older people, they think, oh, I wish I was born in your generation, because it comes down to like technology. And by the way, my grandmother out there, hi grandma, she's on Facebook, Instagram, so you got no excuse, really. Yeah. Shout out to grandma. Hi, grandma.
Hi, grandma. Let's move on to what you can do and what we try and do, which we've already kind of mentioned.
In order to change it, right? Because this is all about changing and growing and becoming happier, right? So the first thing you got to do, you have to do, is you have to catch yourself.
Yeah, so now if you've watched this video, right, say to yourself, okay, I'm going to make the conscious effort to try and catch myself when a negative thought comes in, or I'm going to catch myself when I blurt out, oh, what an idiot, when you drop a piece of bread on the floor, right? But it's just making that decision and telling yourself, right, I'm going to at least try and catch myself next time.
Yeah, because catching yourself is the hard part. It is, right? Because like, for me, I can catch the external ones now like that. Like I can catch when I call myself stupid, or I catch myself.
You do, yeah.
But the subconscious thoughts, those are a lot harder to catch, right?
Well, yeah, because like we said, if you've constantly been negative in your brain and you're telling yourself day in, day out the same things, it's habit, it's your belief system, it's reality, right? Like we've been saying. So you can't catch it as easily because that's just ingrained.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it's like, it's not easy.
It's hard to break
yourself.
that chain.
It's so
right?
hard. It's really
so
hard.
Right? So
yeah.
It's like about changing it, right? So maybe it's okay, knowing that you say certain negative things about yourself and being like, what am I going to say to counter that, right?
Yeah.
What am I going to change, right? So, okay, you're stupid. No, I'm smart, right? So like just simple acknowledgments of how you're going to implement that change in your life.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to switch the dialogue, right? You've got to change the narrative to then change your reality and change your perspective and perception of things and you. So we want to emphasize that it's not easy, and you have to be kind to yourself, which is hard when you're trying to change the way that your brain is already wired into this negative self-talk, right?
Absolutely. Like anything worth doing is hard, right? Anything worth doing,
it's a process.
It's going to be a whole retraining, a relearning of how you talk to yourself, right?
So for me personally, I know that when I first started trying to catch myself and trying to change that internal dialogue, I would put myself down if I didn't change it, if that makes sense. So I'd be like, right, okay, negative thought. Right, what am I going to change this to? Okay, try this. Then I'd say it in my head, but I wouldn't believe it because obviously my belief system is negative. So the positive change, my brain was going, no, what are you talking about? You're just lying to yourself, which goes straight back into that negative self-talk, right?
I can't go, oh, Alex, you're such an intelligent man. And like maybe somewhere down the line, somewhere deep down there, I believe that I'm intelligent, but in this moment, I don't think
you
I'm
don't
smart,
believe it,
right?
no, right?
So it's like, you're a liar, right? And then I'm using a negative into a positive into a negative. So I'm not getting anywhere, right? So it's about...
But you are.
But I am, because I'm trying to change the narrative over time, right?
And that's what we want to emphasize, is that you're not gonna go, oh, I've caught myself in a negative thought, here's a positive one, and then you're gonna be like, yes, I've got this. That's not... Exactly. It's gonna take time, right? It's like you said this to me off camera earlier, it's a muscle. Right? You have to work it for it to get stronger. And one day you will change it from negative to positive, and you'll believe it, and then you'll go on along your day, and you'll be like, oh, hang on, that was good. That was what I was meant to do.
And you'll be happier for it, right? That's the whole reason for doing this, is that like we don't want to be mean to ourselves anymore. We want to be kind and generous and fruitful.
Yeah, what a good
all those nourishing. We want to nourish our minds, nourish our bodies, go out into the world, be positive, be kind, right? Like, but I want to go throughout life being positive, vibrating positive energy, making others feel well. I just want to be happier.
And that's it. And I think what I've really noticed is that because we go on some live streams of some other YouTubers who do similar content and things, right? And people always comment in the chat, they don't know how to love themselves. They don't know what self-love is. They don't know where to start with being positive towards themselves. Mm-hmm. And we get that. We completely get that. But we're also at a point now where we've been implementing positive self-talk into our lives for a little bit now, right? So seeing these comments, we were like, we have to start making some stuff to help people, to know how to start. It's all self-love, right? And it is shocking how people don't know how to love themselves.
Because it's very much a self-hate, critical society, where we're like so hard on ourselves because we expect the best, we want the best, and we strive for the best. And if we fall short, it's not good enough, right? So like, it's really important to like pick the small wins, pick the things that are going well for you, right?
Celebrate yourself when you are doing well, right? And be kind to yourself.
And
like
be
we
kind
said,
to yourself.
You have to be kind to yourself, because if you're not kind to yourself, like we said again, you can't emanate all of the happiness and positivity because you don't feel it inside, right?
Exactly.
And
change
that's
that
it.
talk. Change the self-talk. Be kind to yourself.
Be kind to yourself.